Might be turned up super
Is
high.
the gain? Let me.
I think it might have been messed with by a little man.
By a little monster.
A little monster.
Little monster. I think that looks better.
A monster was in my room. Hello.
And we're back. Guess who's back?
Back again. Remnants back.
Tell a friend.
But please do, cause we need more reviews, or we will not get views. Ah.
That was really good, actually.
How was it? Thanks. I'm a wappa.
You are a wabba.
Welcome to Remnants. I'm Emily.
And I'm Kayla.
And this is our season 2 finale. Ba-ba-ba-bum.
Which I'm a little sad about.
I guess it's bittersweet. I'm really proud of ourselves for having come this far.
It is. We have 26 fully produced, released episodes, which is pretty impressive.
Think of all of the history you have talked about for so long.
It's not enough.
Think about all the pages of notes. Think about all of the mold we have breathed in.
So much mold.
Think about how much worse our physical and mental states are since starting this process. How far have we come?
Yeah, how far have we actually come?
I don't know.
We've learned a lot about ourselves.
I've learned
for better or worse.
I have seen what I do when I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Shut down completely and eat cake.
Wait, when did we get to eat cake?
Your mom made us coffee cake?
Oh, yeah, when we were at Beatty. Oh, yeah.
I have a very deep set memory of me just in silence
shoveling,
eating cake, watching a security camera, just picturing a ghost sitting in a corner.
We never released a little bit of the video that totally looked like someone was sitting in the corner.
That was horrific.
Yeah, we have so much I forget what we have. That's just how amazing we are.
Yeah, we're so amazing. Everywhere we go, ghosts, we catch them.
Yeah.
We are haunted, probably. Terribly haunted. Cursed even.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were born and then we were horribly cursed. And then that was it.
That's our story?
That's our story.
I think this intro might be worse than the one we had to...
Oh yeah, we had to redo this because I am selfish and I used our microphone for gaming, so I had to change the settings. And then we recorded this and we're like, why do we sound like shit? Like, oh my god, this is like so 2021.
It sounds screechy.
Ugh.
But I think actually the intro would have been better quality. But anyways,
no, the screeching was just my voice.
So yeah, we we put a lot of work into every episode. We got the research and we spend so much time editing. Like we're not just uploading the raw footage. Like Emily's our amazing editor.
I thought you were gonna say we're not just uploading the raw footage like Emily wants us to.
No, I was complimenting you about how you really try to make our episodes as cool as they can be. We add in some fun, sound mixing type stuff, and
I think the measure of how far we've come is when we first started the show way back in the early 2020s.
Yeah, 2022.
It's 2021.
Well,
October 2021 is when we uploaded our first episode. I looked at it today. I did. I swear to God, I did.
We went to Sallie house in November of 2020.
Trying to verify me. I looked at
Well, I have to be mean to you and say no, you are wrong.
I looked at it today when I made our post on Instagram.
I have to be like, no, you're wrong. I'm right.
I don't think so.
Can I look on Buzzsprout when it was?
That's where I looked. I looked at the upload date. The fuck?
I mean, I don't want to be right.
Oh, it's 24.
Yeah.
See, I was right. I just forgot what year it was.
You were thinking it was still 23.
Okay. I was right when I wrote the thing. I just forgot.
So we've been doing this for a year and a half.
And you know what? I haven't gotten any better at math. 4 times.
And honestly, in the podcasting world, we've only put out 26 episodes in a year and a half, but
that's pretty good considering
we work full time and we
have
family.
A small beast.
Yes, we like to see our friends and family still. Sometimes I'm forced to see them.
Like you. Oh my god! I wish we were recording. That was terrifying. I mean, we are recording video. You know what I mean?
Maybe that's, we said that was a goal for season 2. Maybe season 3 we'll finally video record.
Yeah, because we've gotta set up our studio in your cursed pink bedroom.
Yes, it is set up. It just doesn't have any equipment set up, but furniture is set up.
Well, before we got sidetracked by me not knowing when we started the podcast, what I was gonna say is I think one of the measures of how far we've come is when we first started the show in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
We thought that our whole thing was gonna be we drank every time we recorded. And we were like, oh, we can do something local. We can have a local drink every time. And we did for like 3 episodes, probably, I think.
Yeah. Maybe even 4, but...
And we were funny-ish. But then the more we listened to ourselves drinking, the more we're like, we don't like this.
Yeah.
We don't like this. We need to not do that. And we haven't since.
No, our drinks have now been caffeinated versions.
Yeah. Which I might need soon. But,
should I talk about my celebrity moment?
Oh my god, yeah. Talk about your celebrity moment. Of course, it's all yours, Kayla.
But it is a little related because this person I met mentioned that her favorite episode of ours is our second episode, our Weston one, which Emily was very funny in that episode.
Of course.
So, and we were tipsy in that episode, so.
Was that the corpse pumpkins?
Uh-huh. And that's when I can't say penguins.
So if you don't know what we're talking about, you should go listen to it because it is actually funny. You just have to get through poor audio and the
scatterbrained things.
But there are some really funny moments within
some gems.
Yeah, and I am so sorry.
Yeah, I was at a friend's house and met someone I'd never met before, and all of a sudden she was like, wait, I recognize your voice.
She already knew about me being in the podcast.
She did. Which is how she knew. She just had never met me, so she didn't know I was on the podcast with you. So it really wasn't that much of a celebrity encounter.
It's close enough for us.
It's close enough. It was a big deal for me, and it made my whole day.
We're used to only our parents listening, like my mom and your dad specifically.
Yeah.
And then a handful of other people when I'm able to force them to listen to it. Mm-hmm. And then whoever you are, I don't know. Hi, Mom.
Thank you for listening.
Thanks, Mom. Finale time.
That's right. So, speaking of our first episodes, our finale, we return to the Sallie house, which was the location of our very first episode.
I had a weird moment of bravery. My 31st birthday was last week. Well, it won't be last week when this releases, but as of the recording it was, and then we took some time off around the weekend for my birthday, and we're like, let's go to the Sallie house, because I was suddenly just overcame my terrible fear of it.
Yeah, like the last few weeks you've like really wanted to go to the Sallie house. Good, or maybe even close to doing an overnight there.
Good or bad, like part of me's like, that's probably not a good thing, because I've literally I was terrified of it. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to.
You wouldn't review that audio we got from our second visit.
I didn't want to review the footage because I was convinced something came back with me. Mm-hmm. And ever since we've gone, I've had dreams about it fairly consistently. The house, I just dream about the house. I dream about the town, and then randomly I'm like, I'm gonna go to Sallie house. Mm-hmm. And my entire mood there this time was different. It was weird.
I had a feeling walking in, and so this is our third time going to the Sallie house, and each time has only been for an hour or so. So in total, we've only spent 4 hours in the Sallie house. But did you feel kind of it's starting to feel familiar? Oh, this is a friend's house.
Yes.
I know this house. I know my way around.
It was strange, and I don't know if it's because we had a guest with us and maybe it boosted our confidence.
That's true.
No, that's not it though, because last time we went with Kirsty, I was not like that.
No, So
that wasn't it. I don't know. I almost feel like it's a trick.
Yeah, which we talked about in our first episode. I keep referring to that. But we talk about how, that's kind of one of the things with the Sallie house is women tend to feel very calm, more calm, peaceful, welcoming in there. So is it it wants us to feel?
That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah,
and then I was a little too overconfident for me for investigating.
And we went in with low expectations, like, we're only going to be here for 2 hours, like, what's going to happen?
Yeah. And I think that's part of it, is it was during the... If you guys... I'm sure we talked about it in the previous episode where we discussed Sallie House, but you're able to book Sallie House by the hour for self-guided tours.
You can book to be with Sallie by the hour.
By the hour. She takes callers during the day, and then the time is reserved for the night. All night long. She's much pricier overnight.
She is.
Anyways, so you can book Sallie by the hour during the day. So it's a little bit easier to be brave between the hours of 10 and noon in the morning.
1,000%.
Yes. And it's a very bright house. And we've been there enough that we've had nothing significant happen while we were there. So I think that kind of boosts the courage. And after you've been to places that are generally, like, genuinely horrific looking. Mm-hmm. Like, we've been to some very frightening places now.
And really, Sallie House, like, especially during the day, I mean, it's just a nice little...
Yeah, it's like one of the most normal places we've been to, really. And
it doesn't smell.
Yeah, like, it's actually nice. Like, I don't feel gross sitting on the floor.
Yeah.
So, for the most part, it's one of the most pleasant places we've ever investigated, and I'm hoping that's the reason I felt so comfortable there, and not because I'm slowly getting possessed by a demon.
Well, if we keep wanting to go there, that's one of the stages of obsession. It's the first stage.
We're doing a second episode on Sallie House. Does that, like, at what point do we qualify this as an obsession?
I think if we get to, like, 4 or 5, because Sallie House is also so, like, prominent, like... It's such a big haunted house in the paranormal world, and also it's so close for us, so it's so easy for us to visit. It's not like we're living in Seattle and flying in to go to Sallie House. That's maybe an obsession if we're constantly doing that, but, like, it's a 45-minute drive from where we live, so.
Yeah, that's true. So maybe we're not obsessed.
So maybe, like, we got a few more times, I think, before we're obsessed.
So... I guess before we get into, like, our actual investigation, should we rehash the history a little bit?
Yeah, so if you guys...
Professor?
I'm going to give kind of a quick rundown, but if you want, like, a longer, more in-depth version of the Sallie House history, as well as some Atchison, Kansas history, where Sallie House is, go listen to our first episode.
Yeah. Just bear with us, because it's...
Well, in the first part of the episode, we used to, which maybe we want to get back and do a little bit, but we wanted to do, like, paranormal theories and stuff. And so the first part of our first episode, we're kind of talking about limestone and water and the theories about ghosts. So, do you want to first say, like, this famous Sallie House legend, which could be true or not true?
Yeah.
Do you want me
So, I don't remember names.
There is no names.
Okay. So, the legend of the Sallie House is that there was a little girl who had been rushed to the home by her mother because there was a doctor living there at the time. And she'd been rushed there because she was having, like, horrible stomach pains and all of that. Essentially, her appendix was bursting. And they needed to operate, like, now. So she got her in there, they got her on the table, and it was such a dire situation that they had to operate immediately. No anesthesia, no sedation, nothing. No pain management, anything. They just went in, started operating, and during that, like, horrible traumatic experience, the little girl died. And that is one of the main stories as to who Sallie is and why this Sallie spirit doesn't like men, because that's a common theory, is that she is particularly aggressive towards men. And if that is the case, people believe it's because, you know, the last person she saw, the person that
caused her so much pain.
Caused her pain, even if he was trying to help her, was a man. So that is one of these stories. There are several. Another story, which I saw for the first time when we were in the Sallie House last time, was that Sallie was actually an elderly woman who lived in the home and fell down the basement stairs and died. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's not the most popular story. I mean, we know
but it's now out there. Well, and the name Sallie first came into being when a medium visited the home in the 90s and was like, there's the presence of a Sallie, a little girl here, and that kind of ties into the Pickmans living there, which I'll get into in a second. But I'm just going to real quickly run through, like, the history of the owners, just so you guys kind of have some background. But, like I said, refer to our very first episode if you want a fuller history. So, Sallie House, the most famous haunted house in Atchison, definitely in the state, maybe in the U.S.
Yeah, it's definitely well known in most paranormal circles. For sure.
It is located at 508 North 2nd Street, and it's kind of just your basic, like, 2-story, 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath home. Got a creepy basement. Like, it's just a nice, normal house. I do like this fun fact, which I've not said before on our show, is the back of the house actually used to be the front of the house, because the first street used to run, which is through what is now the backyard, and it flooded and washed out, and so they had to like flip the house basically, so then the back door became the front door. I don't know, I just think that's kind of fun. And you can definitely tell when you look at it, you're like, oh, well, that's like why there's such an impressive front door in the kitchen.
Yeah, it's like, why is it like, it's like glass and it's gorgeous, and it's just like, I've never seen a back door look like this. I guess it's nice.
Because there used to be a front door. But anyways, so the lot was purchased in 1866 by Michael C. Finney. He was a first-generation Irish immigrant. The house took around 5 years to build, and rumor has it that the family lived in the basement while it was being finished, which that sucks, but I guess you owned it, so, there's that. The home was completed in 1871. Michael Finney and his wife Kate, they had 5 children, 3 of which survived to adulthood, and those 3 children were James, Agnes, and Charles. In 1872, Michael, the patriarch, he dies in the house. So he really only lived in the completed house for a year. Which
awful.
Sucks. He moves over here, he buys this land, he spends 5 years building this house, and then he gets to only enjoy it for a year. 2 years after that, his father-in-law dies, and plus there's the 2 children that didn't live to adulthood that also died. So there's starting to be a lot of death with this house. Now all of natural causes, but, that's...
Still, yeah, that's like a lot.
Yeah. And then I'm just going to kind of brush on this, but they also owned the lot and the house next door.
Oh, okay. I think
504 North 2nd Street.
I forgot that.
Yeah. It's not really talked about much, which I think is kind of interesting, but...
Yeah, because, is that place haunted? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'd be curious if they're haunted. I mean, the houses are pretty close together, so it's kind of would be interesting if the neighbors experienced stuff, but especially this house 504 that the Finney family also owned, and different members of the Finney family lived in and out of it.
Yeah, so over the years, the hauntings related to the Finney family, then you would think that would.
But I'm not sure that the hauntings are necessarily related to the Finney family, because it just doesn't really. It's not ever come up.
From what we've got from it, I don't know.
Yeah,
it doesn't seem to be the case.
But I go into more about that neighbor house in our first episode, so I'm not going to really talk about it anymore. But it's got some fun history.
We've got too much evidence.
We do.
This.
So Charles Finney, one of the sons, he was a doctor and he practiced medicine out of the home. So if this story of a child coming in with a burst appendix and dying, it would probably relate to him if it is a true story. He was also the mayor of Atchison for a time, so he's just a very prominent Atchison figure. Okay. Doctor, mayor, da-da-da.
Just everything.
So in 1904, Charles gets married, and in 1905, he actually moves into that house next door to the Sallie house, and then Agnes, his sister, moves into the Sallie house in 1906, and she lives there for a while. She gets married in 1913 to an engineer named William True, and William dies in the Sallie house in 1918. So they lived there for a while together, but then he tragically passes. And then 2 years later, the mother, Kate, she dies in the house next door.
Everybody's just dropping dead.
Yeah, so it's like it's all like natural deaths, right. But it's just, there's a lot of death.
I mean, that's more I feel like people did back then too. You die in your home.
But after Agnes's husband died, she then started taking in boarders into the Sallie house.
That always
so that she could make a living for herself. So that kind of plays into just the transient activity and the traffic that's just coming in and out of the house. So then in 1939, Agnes dies in the home, and she had been ill. Then over the next 50 years after Agnes's death, you've just got a bunch of different families moving in and out of the house. And that's kind of just there's just a lot of turnover. The longest, I guess, tenant was Ethel Anderson. She lived in the home from 1958 to 1990. Damn. Which is actually a pretty long stretch. But she never reported paranormal activity, but she also might have just not reported paranormal activity.
Right, like, was Ethel one of those people who's just like, I do not have time
for this
to worry about whatever.
I got my own stuff going on.
Yeah, like, she had her own little collection of stuffed animals, I'm sure, and they would end up being in little cult circles, and she was just like, no.
Yep.
Not today, Satan.
Mm-hmm. Literally.
Not today, Sallie.
So the Sallie house really becomes famous starting on December 31st, 1992, when Tony and Deborah Pickman move in. They were a newly married couple expecting their first child in June 1993. And yeah, this is where basically most of the paranormal activity comes from. The TV show Sightings came to investigate while they lived there several times because I don't know how much I'll get into everything that happened to them, but really Tony in particular was being targeted. He was having crazy nightmares, vivid dreams. He was getting scratched. I think they had little spontaneous fires that were happening. And Deborah was having a different experience. She said Tony would talk to her about this stuff, and she was almost very aloof with him, oh, okay, yeah. Which was unlike her to not believe him.
Yeah, because wasn't she in love with the house and
yeah,
good energy, all the things, and they were just.
And he was basically being abused and bullied.
The house is beating me up. And she's like, no. Stop being a dramatic man.
This is fine. They had their probably famous story is they came home one evening and in their son's nursery, all the bears were in a circle. Yeah. Holding, and so then that was kind of one of the turning points. Be
because the haunting we'll say initially definitely fixated on the nursery, because I do know one of the first things that they got, the first alarming things was their neighbor asked why they left their son's nursery light on at night, and they're like, we don't. And then it escalated from there, which I feel is usually the case. It's just once it can get a foothold, and you start getting afraid, and it's oh, I can make things worse and worse and worse. And now I'm throwing flaming teddy bears at you.
Pretty much. Yeah. And there's Tony Pickman drew a photo of Sallie because she would visit him, and that photo is in the Sallie house, or at least a copy of it.
And with the Sallie sightings, which you may be going into this, but they said they would see a little girl initially, and it'd be actual, I think they'd see her, but this was also in dreams too. But at some point, Sallie started getting kind of warped, and she wasn't necessarily just a little girl. She was a little girl mixed with an animal mixed with a decaying corpse, and it was just something was wrong. It was a little girl, but was it though?
Yeah, because there's some theories that it's
a little girl.
Demon girl. Demon girl.
Sallie ain't no girl.
She ain't no girl.
She ain't no lady.
So,
that's,
So that's kind of a really, it's probably not that brief, but it feels brief, history of the Sallie house.
Because it's most haunted places where most of them don't have anything where you can just be well, this person died here, now this exact ghost is here, they do this every time. It's the Yellowstone of hauntings where you're well, we know Old Faithful's gonna walk down the hall every day at noon. It's just, most of the stuff comes from what people get in investigations, which I don't think I realized until I started ghost hunting. It's just that's where most of the facts come from, is what people hear from their investigations. But we heard some very interesting things.
Yes.
In our last trip to Sallie house.
I guess I might even want to recap our 3 different visits. So the very first time we went there, we hadn't even started the podcast yet. So we had the idea for it, but we didn't really investigate. We kind of just walked around the house. I will say we felt very lightheaded and dizzy in the master bedroom. which...
I didn't feel that at all this
time.
time.
I haven't felt that I don't think the last 2 times, but that first time we did. And, you know, maybe it's the funhouse effect because that room's kind of uneven.
Yeah.
The second time we went...
That one was rough.
Yeah, we left my iPhone recording in the nursery, and we caught a voice that says, "Help."
Yeah, and that was one... I was really scared after that trip, even though nothing happened that we were aware of while we were there. It was just a feeling I had. And, like, Kayla wanted me to listen to this audio, and I was like, nope, not gonna do it. And then when I finally did listen to it, I was like, that's nothing, nothing. And then I listened to it again recently, and I was like, okay, that's something.
Should we insert it here just for reference?
So this most recent time was the most time we've had at Sallie House because we got a whole whopping 2 hours, and we did as much as possible with it. We did far more investigating than we'd ever done because I think we were always a little bit scared to really open that door.
Yeah.
Because we'd never done more than just a basic try to get an EVP session. Very basic. This time we did everything. We did the mag flashlight experiment.
Yes.
We did spirit box. We did Estes method. We did EVP session.
Yeah, we tried to fit. That's kind of, I guess we kind of hit all the big ones.
That's all of ours, at least, that we do.
Yep.
The only one maybe we didn't get an actual response on was, like, we didn't get an actual EVP that we're aware of yet. Every damn other thing, though.
Was, should we just...
Yeah, where do we start?
I mean, let's just start chronologically.
So, flashlight first? Mm-hmm. Yep. So, we started with the flashlight in the kitchen. We pretty much, if you guys have seen BuzzFeed Unsolved when that was still a thing, we put it in, like, the same spot, because that was, like...
Ryan and Shane were there. We stood where they stood.
We stood where they stood during the day, because we're a lesser version.
Ryan would understand.
He would. But we did the flashlight session. We recorded the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of took a second to warm up.
Yeah.
And then we were getting some pretty consistent answers. You know, I think we had it set to where... Let's rewind a bit. So, with the flashlight experiment, what you do, you know, a mag flashlight is when you twist to turn on or turn off. The idea with the experiment, if you don't know, is you have to set it. You have to twist it so it's perfectly in that spot where it's almost on. And then you set it down, because the idea is then that if you just tap it, it'll turn on. Mm-hmm. It's a little iffy.
Yeah, because, like, is it just turning on because it's in this weird position, or is it actually the ghost, like, touching it?
Yeah, so I'd hardly say it's, like, concrete. However, when you do consistently get answers on time to when you say, like, okay, turn the light on if it's yes, turn it off if no, or you just say, turn it off, please, and it turns off. This... You know, it starts getting a little bit compelling. And this is the second time ever, I feel like, that we've had kind of a conversation with a flashlight. Mm-hmm. And if you go check out the video, I'm sure we'll post clips of it on Instagram, like, you can see Kayla, like, grabs my arm several times when the flashlight turns on in direct response to something. And we're both just like, oh, shit, okay.
Yeah.
So that's something, and that's kind of a difficult thing to really present over audio format alone.
Yeah.
But we asked questions, like, I think we asked, are you a demon? It turned on. Mm-hmm. We're like, lots of things like that, and we're like, are you sure, though? And then I was getting, like, when I say that my attitude was different, like, it was very much like, well, Sallie, I don't really think we can know if we're talking to anything right now, so I really need proof. It turned on. Mm-hmm. And things like that, where it's just like when I was starting to get pushier than I normally was, things happened. And I was like, I don't know if I like this or not, but... Yeah. But, you know, in addition to doing experiments we hadn't done before, one other thing we were good about was leaving cameras and recorders behind to document things. And thank God we did.
We're getting better. Look how far we've come.
Yeah. Because we left this up to the flashlight, didn't we? We asked the flashlight where we should go next.
Mm-hmm. And it got bright. I can't remember. Did it turn on or just get brighter?
I think it actually turned on. Because we said, should we go...
I think we asked first if we should go to the nursery. Yeah, nothing happened.
Mm-hmm. And then we were like, should we go to the master bedroom? I think it turned on. Or it was flickering a little bit. And then we're like, okay, should we go to the closet in the master bedroom? And then it turned on. Mm-hmm. And we're like... Okay.
I guess that's where we go.
So we did. We trotted our happy asses upstairs.
And we left an iPhone recording in the kitchen, the little flashlight that we left down there, and we went up to the closet.
Listening to a flashlight like geniuses. Mm-hmm. You know, I feel like...
Life advice.
I feel like if, like, I
life
make,
coach.
Yeah, I make fun of people for, like, believing in zodiac stuff, and then I'm like, I take advice from a flashlight.
I'm like, where should I go? Okay, great. That's where I'll go.
It's like, oh my god, did you ever watch SpongeBob? The magic conch shell?
Oh, yeah.
That was us.
That was us.
Our flashlight.
Yeah.
But we did. We went upstairs and we did an EVP session in the closet for quite some time. Mm-hmm. And to our knowledge, we got no responses. Nothing.
Yeah.
We were there for a while. We asked several questions. And we kind of ended it with a yes-no session where I did it backwards, of course, because I'm mentally... But I did knock... I asked Sallie, like, okay, I'm going to ask you questions, so I need you to knock once. If it's a no, knock twice for a yes.
Maybe you're trying to prove if it's an intelligent spirit or not by, like, flipping the script.
Yeah, sure. Totally did it on purpose. Yeah, I was trying to
test
no rules, Sallie.
Really.
I was like, obviously, if Sallie's intelligent, she'll be able to keep up with this. So.
Yeah, so you said knock once for no, knock twice for yes.
Okay, and a reminder, we had a video recorder, a camera. I'm sorry, my 90s was showing. We had a camera recording... A phone, Jesus Christ. We had a phone recording in the kitchen this whole time, in addition to a audio recorder. See, this is why I couldn't do the yes-no correctly, because I can't say anything.
It's also like, this is the latest we've ever recorded.
I know, it's totally showing.
And it's a school night.
Yeah. So we had that all going, and then we're upstairs recording us talking. We review that audio later. Nothing.
Then we review the kitchen, I can't talk either.
Yeah, and we reviewed the footage from the kitchen, and there was knocking, and we're like, huh, that's interesting knocking. That's pretty pronounced.
The whole 40 or 30-minute video. There's only
a 47.
Oh yeah, there was only one little section where there's 3 knocks fairly close together, and so I'm like, do you think this lines up with?
Yeah, it didn't even occur to me, and Kayla was like, we should see if it lines up to that other audio we did, and I was like, oh wow, that's a really smart idea.
I don't know if we like my idea because it.
Yeah, we did that tonight. That's partially why we're recording so late, because the first thing we had to do was figure out the timestamps for these videos, because the timing was slightly different than each other. So
yeah, we didn't start them in
we had
to
do math, which doesn't go great here. So we did that, and then we threw it all into my editor, moved stuff around, lined the videos up so that we had audio playing on both, and we just let it run.
And I think we'll just let it run for you, right?
Yep. Okay, Sallie. Whoever you are. Let's try to do some yes or no questions. 1 knock is no. 2 knocks, yes. Wait for that car to pass. All right. If you could please. My stomach. I am so sorry. I'm going to ask a question. And if you could knock once for no, twice for yes as your answer. Are you a demon? And we came on a little strong with that question. So, let's go back. Is your name Sallie? car. Is there anything in this room with us right now? Dominic.
Do you like all the people that come in and out of this house?
Okay, we're gonna have to move to another room soon.
Your stomach.
What? That one was my stomach, but I don't know if it was my stomach before that.
Yeah.
It was like a rattling.
It came from your direction, but that's why I looked at you, but...
You might need to go to a doctor.
It is interesting to note, I think because of the temperature today, there's no AC or heat turning on. It doesn't sound like.
There's a bit of a breeze.
It's very quiet. Like the house isn't making noises. It's not a particularly windy day. Yeah, the trees aren't moving.
So, can we agree that that's a little interesting?
It's sus.
It's sus.
Like, and then kind of as a little bit more context, I left the recorder going in the kitchen even longer because then we had another hour in the house even after we did this experiment. I don't get knocking any other time on that like hour and a half digital recorder audio. But I do get just the 3 knocks that we got here.
There is one more time while we're in the Sallie house that I did not hear, but the 2 other people in the room heard a knock.
Yep.
One time. That's not often. That's not a lot. And it was a different place.
Yep.
So, and
I mean, because I will say houses do...
They do.
Shift and make noises, but we didn't hear... It was actually, we commented how quiet the house was being.
And that knocking to me sounds very much like knuckle.
And it gets louder.
Yeah.
Like that last one is real loud.
Yeah, that one startled me. Mm-hmm. And the fact that it was like, are you a demon? Nothing.
Yeah, obvious. Yeah.
Yeah. Is your name Sallie? No. Is there anybody in this room with us right now? No.
Which it wasn't, because we were upstairs. Obviously, the thing was in the kitchen.
Do you like people being in this house? No.
No, like a very...
Hard pass.
Defiant no. It probably doesn't like how many different... I mean, Sallie House is just... Because you can book it by the hour, I mean, there's just constantly... Yeah. And it's pretty much booked almost every night for an overnight.
Yeah, because, like, if it's a spirit, then I could see them being annoyed because, like, they think it's their home. Like, people are in and out. If it's a demon, can it latch? Can it feed?
Because there's just constantly people only staying for little bursts at a time.
How is it going to keep its job? It can't be employed in these conditions.
Yeah.
It's like a temporary demon. It's a temp.
Like, would someone just fucking stay for a minute?
Yeah, like, how am I going to suck your soul out when you're only here for 1 hour at a time? Oh, my God.
Yeah, I got to make a living.
Satan is going to dock my pay.
Yeah.
I don't know why the demon talks like this.
It just does.
This is how we cope.
Yeah.
With what happened.
Give the demon a funny voice and it's okay to talk.
Oh my God, like I'm totally gonna send you to hell. So that happened.
Should we do the other little noise I got first? Okay, it's coming up in 10 seconds.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
I don't like it either. So to preface, like, we're the only 3 people in the house. We're upstairs in the nursery. There is no one else in the house. There's nothing in the kitchen. There should be nothing in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's clearly like a drag, and then there's like a step or a little more drag. I don't know. Shuffle. I don't know. We didn't have the video going at the time, which I don't think it would have caught anything anyways, but...
I think next time we're there, we need to have a camera pointing at the basement door.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's just, it's creepy.
Yeah, we got some really diverse and interesting activity there. It does seem like the kitchen is a hub.
And we had never really spent time or had definitely not investigated the kitchen
closest we can get to without breaking the rules to the basement.
And we are not rule breakers, so yeah, every time we've gone there, there's been like more and more signs not to go in the basement.
Yeah, but people clearly go in the basement because we're reading all the guest logs and like, the basement, the basement, the basement. I'm like, how are you guys breaking the rules?
Which if we ever do an overnight there, I maybe would sneak into the basement, but when we're only there for like an hour...
Right. My cat is a fiend.
When we're only there for like an hour at a time, it's like, well, I don't really feel like breaking the rules when I'm not even here for a long amount of time.
Yeah, an overnight maybe. We could have been like, I don't know. We didn't know we can't read.
Yeah. But.
Yeah. I mean, clearly people go down there, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, they changed it from it just being unsafe to the pilot light might go out.
Yeah. Which is.
Less
funny.
Less frightening.
Yeah.
They're
trying to put like a. I don't know, like a mechanical reason to not go down there, you know, like...
You're like, okay, the first thing didn't work, the pilot light.
The pilot light. So
that happened, yeah. I can't believe I forgot about that.
Yep. So now... This is kind of interesting, so Estes method, I know we've described it before, but do you want to explain in case we got any new listeners?
Yeah, so the Estes method... Essentially, it requires a spirit box, and what a spirit box does is it quickly scans radio waves. You can do, like, AM or FM, and it, like, jumps through them so quickly that you shouldn't really get a single word or a phrase. So the idea is that if you do, there is a chance that that is a spirit trying to communicate with you, because, you know, one of the popular theories has always been that ghosts can manipulate electronics and all of that, and, like, essentially... That's the idea. You ask the box questions. If you get a response, if you hear a voice, if you hear words, then, you know, you might be talking to a ghost. So typically in a regular spirit box session, you'll be playing just the box out loud so everybody can hear it and ask questions. The Estes method is kind of an improvement upon it. It kind of adds another layer of control to the experiment where one person will be wearing headphones that are connected to the spirit box, and then they will also be wearing a blindfold so that they kind of have a fully immersive deprivation state, which can confirm works extremely well. Once you're spirit boxing for a certain amount of time, you do sort of go into a bit of a trance. Mm-hmm. You don't realize it's happening, but it happens. So essentially, like, one person will be in the spirit box. We call it going under. We didn't even mean to. We just started calling it going under. And then another person will be asking questions. You need to make sure that the person going under cannot hear the questions, because the idea is you do not want answers to be influenced by the question, because you need to keep it fully objective. Like,
so you had like noise canceling headphones on.
Because what we do is because we're cheap, so we have regular little earbuds, and then I put my noise-canceling headphones over it.
And then turn up the spirit box really loud.
Really loud, and then I'm holding it on my ears because I don't want to hear anything. Mm-hmm. And we did that. We've been doing, we'll flip-flop, but lately, like, we try to start with, like, me going under, because I have we get interesting when Kayla's asking questions and I'm going under.
Mm-hmm. It seems to be more...
Yeah, and I'm bad at asking questions, too. Kayla asks more productive questions. And I don't know,
maybe that journalism degree wasn't a total waste.
Yeah, you didn't realize that you would be interviewing dead people, but you are. Or demons.
I'll tell my professors.
Yeah, like, oh my god.
I found a use for this degree.
I'm a ghost hunter. I interview spirits. I don't know why this is my go-to voice today. So anyways, that's what I believe was the dumbest thing we did in the Sallie house, was a 15-minute long...
Which I was even shocked it was that long. I thought it was maybe 20 to 30 minutes. It was freaking 15 minutes, and so then we ran out of time to do anything else. Like, we didn't...
Literally ate up pretty much an entire hour.
Yeah, and almost that whole time it was interesting responses.
So, one thing we've noticed with Estes methods, especially ones that go really, really well and we're getting, like, really topical responses to questions is that time just seems to stop existing. Like, we just don't notice anymore that it's been, I don't know, like 50 minutes, which is why this Estes method we're diving into is
50 minutes.
50 minutes, yeah.
And even, like, it's definitely when you're the person under, time goes really quick. Yeah. But even me as the question asker, I swore we were only, it was like 20 minutes long.
Yeah, I could.
No wonder my hips hurt because I was sitting on the floor for 50 minutes.
I know, I was starting to hurt. I remember this one point I started moving and I was like, because to preface this, like, I was the one with the headphones on doing the, like, listening to the spirit box, and I was sitting in a circle of stuffed animals in the nursery that had been left by the last people there. And at one point I had to disturb the circle because I was so uncomfortable. But yeah, it was a very interesting time. And I think our plan is we're just going to play it live.
Yeah, we're just going to play it for you, and then we'll probably interject our thoughts, and we might pause it here and there if we want to talk a little bit longer about some of the interactions, but basically we're just going to let it run. And it was pretty...
It's pretty juicy.
It was pretty juicy.
Ew.
But I don't like that word. I think it was a different one. It was pretty...
Spicy.
Yeah.
It's pretty...
I'm trying to think of a better word than just interesting.
Spooky.
There was a lot of interaction, which is also another reason why we're playing pretty much the whole thing, because there really wasn't...
We might have been talking to one entity, we might have been talking to multiple,
because there was a couple times I tried to end it, and...
Sassy.
It was sassy, and so you'll hear me, like, say, all right, I'm going to hang up, and it's like, no, you're not.
Excuse you?
So, anyways.
In case... I can't really hear you, so you should be okay, but... I don't just hear him so tiny. I can hear you a little bit. Okay. Maybe just turn the volume up. I'm stopping. No!
Like, you, like, turn the volume up.
Welcome.
Did you hear that?
I've just started going. Like, as soon as I hear things, I start talking.
Well, it sounded like you said welcome.
Who's here with us? Oh, I did. Somebody. Is Sallie here? Yeah. God, how this went.
I mean, it's...
God? I'm moving.
You said God?
Oh, is God here too? So casual. Oh, nice. You to join. Sallie, what do you have to tell us? Recording? We are recording. What do you think? Okay. You're okay with us recording you? Stop. $18.
Oh, doesn't.
Do you recognize us? Abortion? Is that related? Hi. Hi. My name is Kayla. What's your name?
Do not want to tell us its name.
Can you tell us how many living people are in this room? 12. Your reaction to like, okay. But you did respond. Do you like all the dolls in this room? I just can't count. No. Would you like if they were all moved out of here? Somebody just like took a breath. Nice to meet you. It is nice to meet you too. This is actually my third time coming here. Do you remember me?
A lot of cars driving by, FYI.
Hello. Is this someone new that we're talking to?
Can you let me know your name, please?
Making.
What are you making? A lot of people think that Atchison as a whole, or even the Sallie house, is a portal.
Everything.
I think it's a portal.
Next to you?
Are you next to me? What's next? Or do you mean a doll that's next to me?
But
there's a book. Could you make this rocking horse move? It's just that's next to me. Are you referring to the group of us that's here?
Ooh, I just heard like a cry.
Are you okay?
Me? It's like a kid's voice.
Do you need help?
First.
What do you want to do first?
Hello?
I'm still here.
So many hellos.
What do you need help with?
I said them like that because they do sound like question. Like I try to say
Are you
things
lost?
the way I hear
Someone?
them.
I'm here. My name is Kayla. What's your name?
Judas?
It's not a common name.
Me trying to stay calm.
Jesus.
Are you referring to the Bible?
Bullshit.
Do you think Jesus is bullshit?
That's it.
Oh God.
Are you a demon?
No comment.
Why don't you like Jesus?
Sounds like a yes to me.
Yeah, exactly.
A name? Amber? It's like kid's voice again.
Amber, do you need help? Are you lost?
Oh my gosh.
Do you know where you are? Can you see me? If you can see me, what color shirt am I wearing?
Think.
Are you trying to think about what color I'm wearing?
Watch this.
Are you gonna do something? Are you gonna make a toy move?
Convert.
Are you wanting to convert to a religion? Or convert me?
Yeah. That seems like.
What are you wanting to convert? If you are here with us, can you make something in this room move? Can you play on one of these toy pianos over here next to me? Oh, that's my
Yeah.
Yeah, you can play one of these pianos.
One.
Just play one of them.
Yuan was about to run.
The piano.
Pretty.
Are you saying piano music is really pretty to listen to?
Just got really quiet for a second.
It's just interesting because you had no idea what I was saying. And it's, I mean...
Who's here with me? What's your name?
Broken. Pretty.
What's broken?
That's creepy. I know. We're having a
Mine?
conversation.
You're broken, or something that you have is broken? Is it something that you have is broken?
Say it again.
Yeah, I didn't word that very well. You said broken.
Double. Or
What's broken?
It is interesting. I kind of stumbled over my question and you said, say it again.
What's your favorite song to
Like,
play on the piano?
creates
Like,
Do you like to just write your own music on the piano?
30. No idea.
I don't know how to write music for the piano either.
and like I know...
Maven?
Like, don't some piano songs have numbers? Like, 30 could be some...
Could be.
I just don't know enough about, you know, Beethoven, Mozart.
It'd be
music.
crazy if there's like creates 30.
Yeah.
Protect.
Who are you protecting?
It's taken care of.
So the protection is already taken care of?
Understand?
Okay. Is this house protected?
I hate how much.
Looking.
Creeps me out.
Is it a specific person that's
Vessel.
I might have to pause and talk about this.
Are you referring to using it?
So we're pausing the Estes because when we were at House of the Dead, which is also in Atchison, Kansas, you know, we were there back in December.
That was our most recent other investigation we've done.
Yep. Emily also said, when she was under and I was questioning, she also said the word vessel. I mean, that is not a common word.
And it was very similar context overall. Like, I think we got other similar words in that communication.
Right. And going back to House of the Dead, you had said vessel, and then I forget what I asked right after, but then you said, I wanna.
Yeah.
Or
yeah,
you
it's
wanna,
like
you wanna.
Yeah. It's like vessel, you wanna.
And we can go back to playing this, but something very kind of a similar interaction comes through. But anyways, I just wanted to pause because it's just very interesting that we've, both times, the most recent times we've done Estes Method, Emily was under and got the word vessel, which is concerning.
I don't know which one.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Emily as a vessel?
Talking. Bone. We want you.
Jesus Christ.
It's so similar.
Really similar reaction. Similar set of phrases before.
I'm gonna pause it real quick. When it said talking bone, this is so specific, but it almost makes me think like they're literally like divination tools that are like bones. Like they're kind of like runes.
yeah,
runes
right.
made out of bones. You use
Yeah.
them to communicate. Like maybe it needs like something like that to communicate.
Maybe that's what it's trying to say. It's like vessel. It's trying to tell us what it needs to communicate.
Yeah. Next time we go, we should at least. I don't know how to use them, but like next time, maybe we should bring some. Just see what happens. Because we need to kind of.
Well, and kind of related to that, real quick. Sorry. We've kind of talked about this before with these places that are open to investigations. We don't know what other people have been doing.
True.
So it's like it's possible that there's previous groups, especially the Sallie House is visited so often. Mm-hmm. There could be some groups that have like done runes.
I'm sure that people have done everything.
Yep. So you kind of just don't know what you're walking into, which is a little frightening in a way.
I never actually consider that with the. It's always so quiet when we go to Sallie House. I never consider like, hey, did the people before us use a Ouija board when they're not supposed to?
And didn't close it, and we have no way of knowing that kind of stuff. So, anyways, I just wanted to call that out.
Thought.
Yeah. Anyways, back to it.
Here we go.
Why do you want Emily?
we deserve.
Oh.
Housing.
Are they referring to Emily? You?
Let's go.
Bad housing. It's like low income.
Then she's like, oh,
Do you want her to stay at this house?
No.
Are you wanting to leave with her?
Have you? 8?
I have.
Or do you think it's like about
Do you
eating
want
your
us to
soul?
keep staying in this house?
Is you so well fed?
Avert.
Avert.
So you want us to leave?
To the few.
To the few.
I mean,
And what?
Some people to leave?
And roses. Fire.
I'm curious if that's like quoting something.
Yeah.
You did use
You.
Fire.
when the
and-
Pickmans lived here. They had issues with fire. Is that what you're referring?
Pretty.
Is that what you're referring to?
Talk about you now.
Do you know the Pickmans?
Hot.
I mean,
Do you think fire is pretty?
There's like a distant scream.
I don't like that.
We in hell now?
I know. Fire, hot, scream.
800.
1-800.
What's
Glory.
Oh.
What's 800?
Got that neck pop.
And I'm just thinking, like,
Me.
yeah,
Are you 800 years old?
demon would be.
My back's clearly hurting. I'm getting an
Are you
attachment.
giving Emily a headache?
Stay. Get used to it.
Thank you.
Like, this stuff is so.
Emily needs,
Ooh, there's like a creepy kid voice.
are you saying Emily needs to
Help
be,
me.
The fuck?
What's your name? What do you need help with?
Like, these responses are insane.
I'm positive.
No.
You don't.
I will say that like the kid voice coming in and then getting creepy, that does like tie into Sally house things of them seeing a kid and then gradually the kid like gets twisted, and that's why a lot of people think it was a demon because it like
Yeah,
starts
that
out-
Sally's not actually a little girl. It's a demon
Yeah.
posing as a little girl.
Yeah, so like the kid voice getting weird and creepy is a little
And this isn't the first time a kid voice has come through
Yeah.
in this session.
because like it started where it's normal and then I specifically said, "Ooh, a creepy kid voice."
yeah, I mean, ugh.
Man, that's not the only alarming thing, but okay, here we go.
Want my help?
You hiding? Me?
Who are you hiding from? Do you want Emily's help?
A pack?
Don't like that.
Are you wanting to make a deal? That-
Start
What do you want to start?
for just
That's what it feels like. Like a demon wanting to
more than
take my soul. I mean, like vessel pack. These are just weird words.
There was a kid's voice that came through.
my.
Are you still here with us?
Tonight.
What's happening tonight?
I look like I'm getting possessed.
I know. I was kind of reading your body language. I was like, I don't know. She's alright.
Everybody always thinks something's wrong with me when I do this.
I was whistling.
It's weird. Do you like to whistle?
Lightning? Search.
What's happening tonight? Are you coming with us?
I was like, why did I ask that?
Daddy? Are you looking for your dad?
No, different daddy.
Yeah.
Did you get separated from him?
My eyes scared me.
Movement.
Where did you last see your dad?
Cameraman's moving.
Still camera.
Got really quiet for a second.
Is it hard to talk about your dad? Can I help you? Can Emily help you?
No, Mom. Days.
Are you also looking for your mom?
Supposed. Redeem.
Are you trapped?
Stomach.
Is this Sallie? We're referring to the stomach surgery you had? That ultimately ended in your death? What about your stomach?
4.
Were you 4 years old?
Cod.
Cod? Poor cod.
Fish. Adam.
Not funny anymore.
Help.
So many.
Adam, do you need help?
No.
Does someone else need help?
True. It's called.
Is it one of us in this room, me, that needs help? Or Emily that needs help?
Save me.
What do you need saved from?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hurry, please. For you.
How can I help you? I want to help you.
Please.
Okay. Are you trying to find someone?
Protect.
Who do you want to protect?
God.
Okay. Are you protecting God because it's evil in this house?
Theft.
Are you referring to our Mr. Potato Head getting stolen? What's been stolen? Do people take stuff from this house that's not theirs?
Home.
Is this your home?
No.
Do you come here to visit?
Why did I say it like that? Like a kid. No.
Do you not want to be here?
Let's see. Boo.
Do you like to scare people?
Sure.
Is that why you like to come here?
That's right.
Like, so relevant.
What's your favorite way to scare people?
Thank you.
Do you like to talk to people?
It's nature.
It's in your nature.
Satan.
Do you work for Satan?
I'm proud.
Are you proud to work for the devil?
Yes.
Oh no.
It's almost like something like psst.
I don't like it.
I'm like
Why are
oblivious to
you
you
proud
guys.
of
Odin?
We're talking about Norse mythology.
I think
As in Norse mythology?
I asked that. It's like Odin. Getting all kinds of gods going on.
Why are you
Sitting in a tree.
Why are you proud to work for Satan?
Because
Just because? What does he offer you?
I've he's important.
Oh, it's so relevant. Like questions and answers. Ugh.
A lot of religions believe we're in the end of days. Is that why he's important right now?
Door opening.
Releasing the beast.
Why is he important?
Nothing.
Is he the ruler of a realm?
Your buddy.
I don't like that.
My buddy?
You're doing.
It's something I'm doing.
That is making Satan my buddy.
Is it by opening communication? Do you have a name?
Pray. Little kid's voice.
I do pray.
Be happy. Ooh.
Am I
It's like a scream.
am I
Terrible.
am I talking to someone new?
Hi.
I think I am. Hi. What's your name?
That has to be like the 5th high we've had.
Bizarre.
Angel.
Okay.
Roller coaster.
I know. I'm like talking to Satan. Now I'm talking
So
to
I'm now
Angel.
talking to someone good.
My girl.
Who's your girl? Was she an angel? Is she an angel?
It was like a whisper.
Have you kind of got the devil and angel on the shoulders going on here?
It's like you're looking for a way out.
Who am I talking to?
Lucifer is an angel.
Mm-hmm.
I just now put that together. Yeah. I didn't think about that in the moment.
Do you not want to tell me your name?
You're here.
Going for a different angle.
Call me.
Makes it really scary.
Do I call you through prayer?
Like, am I still talking to this demon?
Call.
You just said demons were angels.
So I call to you when I need you?
Demon.
Oh my god.
I want to call to the angel. How do I do that?
Angel.
Leave.
Am I calling to the demon by being here?
Allegiance. Down.
Is my being here in this house?
Priest.
Do I need to go see a priest?
Depends.
Depends on what?
You.
Depends on what happens after I leave here?
You.
You basically just say it depends on me twice.
Is it a mistake being in this house?
Get out, please.
I mean, that's so fucking relevant.
Okay.
You got this.
Are you giving me strength to leave before something bad happens?
Pulling the hair out of my face.
Are you still here with me?
You look shook.
I think I was
Body.
Body.
Are you
Are you here with me? Are you still here with me?
next
Body.
to somebody?
Start.
Over.
Are you over this conversation?
That's right.
So do you want me to say goodbye? Do you want me to wake up Emily?
No.
No. Like a little teasing, no I do. Why am I so creepy?
Do you want to keep talking to us?
I want to pause it really quick just because that whole interaction with, just why it's fresh in my mind, the demon and the angel and allegiance and that whole few minutes, I think in the moment I thought maybe I was talking to two different spirits, but I think it was all the same. I don't know.
It's hard to tell because, I thought that
Yes.
too, but then it has things compelling us to leave. But
Right.
it is important to keep in mind if we were talking to a demon that they are specifically deceitful.
Right, so were we talking to two, where there's two things trying to talk to us. One is, we were talking to some kind of demon, because the whole, I'm proud to work for Satan, but then there is something telling us to leave, so...
Yeah, but it makes me wonder, maybe we were talking to two things, or maybe it was one thing being okay, let's sprinkle in some of this to make them feel okay with staying a little while longer while we get claws in some more or something, because it's confusing, because it does make sense. You think you're talking to something good, and it tells you to leave and everything, but then it's it switches right back. Mm-hmm. And it's...
I don't know, that just whole interaction was so... When I asked a question, there was an answer, and it was relevant. It was very... I feel like I was having a conversation with something. And I think in retrospect, I wish I would have asked some different questions, but I remember in the moment, it was I didn't want to open... Yeah. I specifically worded some things because I was I don't want to directly ask, are you saying I'm Satan's buddy?
because then that's it's almost like it was trying to goad you into saying some things.
Yeah, so...
Which is and then the way I say some things is weird, just then no. It's it does seem like it's being
teasing,
and,
playful.
Yeah, but like in a bad way.
Exactly.
Like it's trying to trick us.
Right. And so I was kind of intentionally, there were certain questions I didn't really want to ask.
That's kind of fair.
But in retrospect, I'm like, ooh, if I had said that, what kind of answer would we have not gotten?
But I would have pushed it over the edge into something really bad.
But then, well, and also it's saying like priest and depends on you. And I asked again, what does it depend on? And you say you again. So it's like, is it telling me I need an exorcism? But why would a demon say that?
Or maybe like it's because you didn't ask the questions you had in your head. Maybe that's why you don't need a priest.
That's true. I don't know. It's just that whole like I don't know. That whole interaction was a lot to take in, and maybe I even encourage you guys to go back and listen again.
Yeah, we're gonna post pieces of it for sure, and
on social media.
It's interesting being the person that was inside that because I had no idea that that's how it was going. I just was.
You're just saying you're just a vessel. So, anyways, we're definitely not done. So to go back, I'm asking, should we leave? And
Why am I here? Out. You want me to leave? That was pretty.
it's pretty.
You've said pretty a lot.
Oh.
Don't be. Are you calling us pretty? Yeah.
Oh, good. A demon thinks I'm pretty.
I don't know if I should say thank you to that. Another. The other here pretty? Do you like when pretty people visit you? Pretty hungry. Pretty hungry.
For your soul.
I'm going down the wrong pretty track. Look. What am I looking at? In the...
Gosh, it scared me.
Who am I talking to?
Just not making them happy.
Kind of quiet. Are you done talking? Should I throw this at Emily?
I'm holding a stuffed animal, by the way.
Looks very threatening.
I'll get Legion.
Legion.
Are we back to talking to the demon?
Legion.
Yeah, so I asked, are we back to talking about Satan? Legion.
Together.
Okay, Legion together.
That's nice.
Who's together?
You and Satan.
Buddies.
There's a kid. Are we talking to a kid? Is there a kid in this room? Uh-oh. What's
Hope.
Oh no, hope.
Well, the demons don't
What
want
are you
you.
hoping for?
Demons don't want you to have hope. Okay, I'm asking, what are you hoping for?
No.
Doesn't want to hope.
You don't have hope? That was something. They're calling. Emily. Who's calling Emily?
You say demon. I don't remember.
Who's calling?
I need to stop saying my fucking name.
Is it evil?
Why'd you do that?
That was him.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's evil. And it's calling for you, Emily. It's okay, I'm Satan's buddy. Allegedly.
That's why you're my friend. I'm Satan.
Is evil in this house?
Ooh, it's like a scream.
Good. Good.
Right.
Is it evil
Why
in this
is there
house?
evil in this house?
Please. That's the deal.
Did someone
That's why there's evil.
did someone conjure something in this house? That was the deal?
Yeah. It's natural.
Second time it said natural.
Yeah, that is the second time you said natural.
So now something just stays here?
Stuck.
It's so
You're stuck because someone brought you here? Touch. Are you trying to touch something?
Yep. Why we didn't talk about that in the history.
Help.
Help has come through so
You
many.
need help?
It's like the demon wants out.
What kind of help do you need?
Maybe it's stuff for the house.
Trouble.
What is
Are you in
the deal?
trouble?
Days.
Are we in trouble?
No.
Okay.
Like that.
But you're in trouble?
Another scream.
Like, as you're in trouble, scream.
This.
Is what we're doing trouble?
Kill.
There are bad people here? Or have bad things happened here? Okay, I think I'm gonna say goodbye. Is that okay?
Your loss.
So do you want to keep talking to us?
Sassy demon.
Yeah.
You.
You want to keep talking to me? Why?
Don't like it.
All of them.
You like talking to all of us?
Yeah.
Do you like when people come to visit you?
The man.
Do you like it when men come visit?
The man.
Maybe.
I've heard you like men more than women. Is that true?
You want?
Almost sounded like.
Don't.
Oh, yeah.
What don't you want me to do?
We see you.
What if you see me, what color am I wearing?
And him.
See you and him.
Still love you.
So for reference, we had a
Who
third
still
person.
loves me?
I don't know if we clarified that.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, we had a third person with us who was a man.
A man.
Man.
He was being our cameraman.
Yeah.
He was being really great. He was
Yeah.
quiet.
You can only hear him occasionally when something scary happens and you're,
I know.
ow, ow. So that's his. So yeah, when it was we see you and him, it's kind of like.
Oh, it's now like acknowledging.
I think it just started acknowledging him too, because it was like the man. We see you. Mm-hmm. So that I feel like, in my opinion, it was trying to goad him into interacting.
Yeah, because he was being very non-interactive. He was just literally filming us. Yeah. And not participating. And it was like, it's time for you to join the conversation, sir.
You need to talk with us too.
Yeah. So anyways, let's see what he wants to talk to the man about. Oh my God.
It's mine. Who's yours?
Him.
Who in this room are you? You are. Me?
Yeah.
Pray for.
Oh, I don't like it.
Do I need to pray for myself? To me? Who? You. Who are you? Who am I praying to? Doctor? There's a doctor that used to live here. Charles. Is that who you're talking about? All right. Are you talking about Charles?
That's your ex?
Or someone else? Killed himself? Of course. You may have heard.
I have not.
I don't know if I've heard of a story of a suicide in this house. Has that happened?
Heard of me? No.
Tell me more.
Ooh, there's like bells.
Which we know bells are not good things to hear.
There's some dead body. Is there a dead body? Remember.
Well, you said remember.
Do you need me to remember the dead that have died here?
It was possessed.
It became a vessel.
According to who? You know. 3 people. 3 people have died here? Is that what you're saying? They thought. What did they think? Bitch. That's not very nice. Dog.
Which is, you know,
My job.
Female dog.
Everything.
Dog breeder.
Volunteers.
Nope. I'm not gonna volunteer.
It's like spiraling out of control.
Like hellhounds.
Am I talking to someone new?
It's a hellhound breeder.
I feel like when I said bitch, I was like, that's not nice.
I feel like I've heard rape like twice now. Also got abortion earlier. Did rape and abortion happen in this house? Remember? Okay. Is there a story that we need to remember that happened to someone here? A woman? You want this? Found you.
So creepy. Found you.
Found me? This temple?
Wants to worship me.
What temple? Is that a no?
No. I had to pause it. I think I'm trying to keep the humor because I'm kind of afraid.
Is that a pickup line?
I know. I think the demon's trying. It did say pretty a lot.
This temple. Is that a no?
Because I stumbled over my question. I was like, what temple?
I mean, this is how a demon tries to flirt. It's like, bitch, no, I'm not like a dog. It's a good thing. I love dogs.
Temple. He wants to worship me. No. Is that a no?
So we actually just recorded like 50 minutes of a demon trying to become Kayla's boyfriend.
Oh God. I don't know how I feel about.
You wanna?
You wanna? It's calling me pretty a lot or something.
It's very complimentary, demon.
It's not a yes. What do you mean by a temple? Because you lie? Fuck.
Is it not saying lie as in the opposite of truth? Is it being like lie down? Maybe I'm reading too much romance fantasy right now.
Maybe you lie. Fuck.
I think I'm reading way too much.
Being propositioned by a demon. Oh nope, that's the only way to interpret this now. Oh, you just shot a demon down, and he's like, lie, fuck.
No, thank you.
I do not know how to flirt in hell. Oh, okay.
I need to go pray in a temple. Middle. Are you referring to that we're in the middle bedroom?
Not really, but...
Holy. Do I need to go pray? Someone needs to go pray? Axe? Okay, I'm gonna say goodbye now, okay? You can try.
My demon boyfriend's not ready to hang up on me.
How are you? I don't know.
I don't know.
How are you? We're good. That's good. Warning. Don't leave.
Oh, my boyfriend is worried.
We could totally just make like a cringy Tinder conversation out of this assessment.
Be good. I'm talking to my demon boyfriend through Emily, the vessel. Could be a whole series, like a whole little like.
We could make a little mini animated series on this.
Ooh.
Offer? What are you offering?
Not sure, I guess.
Gotta think of something real fast.
Us?
Oh.
You're offering
Thruple.
pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Is it?
I go, is it?
Impressive. Is it?
Is it? I think I was being propositioned by a demon.
Pretty cool.
I'm pretty cool.
It's
I'm
impressive. We talking about his wingspan?
That's what I should have asked. How big we talking?
We weren't on this train of thought all the time.
No, I got, if you could, okay, we need to go back to playing the SS method, but I think we'll probably try to upload this full, if Patreon will let us.
Yeah.
We're going to try to upload this because it is to watch my body language, actually both Emily and I's body language. I'm definitely uncomfortable, so.
Now it's hilarious.
But now it's funny. At the time, I think I was like freaking out and, yeah.
You missed your chance.
It's like a knock. Can you knock in the room? Did you hear that? Yeah.
And then it fucking does. Okay, we've been playing this for quite a while now, at least 30 or 40 minutes. Has there been any kind of tap noises?
Literally, can you knock in the room? Yeah.
And it fucking knocks. Like, what? We were legit talking to something. Something intelligent.
I can't process that.
I almost want to replay that. Do you think you can rewind it without messing it up too much?
think she heard that. Yeah. Did you hear that? Can you knock again? Just to confirm. Leave.
It's done with me.
Okay, now you want me to leave?
You're scary as fuck.
Okay, I'm gonna say goodbye then. Thank you for talking with
I
me.
look like I'm in a trance.
You are.
Here's the... Also... Is this Midwest goodbye? Black? What's black? Mirror?
It's a scrying thing.
Yeah. Because I think he's, I have a mirror.
A black mirror, though, specifically.
Yeah, and I look around
Me.
the room. Oh, did you say me?
Okay, we're gonna leave you. That's it. Okay. That's it. Okay. Goodbye. You win.
You
Did
win.
you say do it or you win? I win? Okay. She's gonna jump. I'm so bad.
I'm trying to wake Emily up.
Just gonna throw a little piece of stuffed bear at me.
Oh my god, it's fucking bright. Oh, fuck.
That was so much to process.
There's so much that happens in those things. I can't even, I forget things we get from those, because that was just so
much.
I forgot that knock thing even happened.
I did too. Kind of took some notes while we were re-listening, so I would remember it almost, especially maybe not so much at the end, but at the beginning, it almost felt like a revolving door. Like you said hello as a question 5 times.
Yeah, hello.
And every time it was like, oh, are we talking to someone new? And sometimes you would say yeah, or and just the difference in your tone. I felt like there were times we were definitely talking to different entities or spirits.
I said the way I said some things was just so creepy.
Yeah, and there was definitely a lot of religion buzzwords, when you said Judas, then Jesus, bullshit, and obviously the whole demon was said several times, and it seemed priest came up, pray came up several times.
It was, all of it was super compelling. Packed.
Legion, allegiance. Just a lot of...
And just all the actual, direct, immediate answers. And then I think for me, all of it was super compelling, but the most compelling of the whole thing was just, can you knock? Yeah. And then the knock. That's insane. That was 2 lines of communication, 2 forms of communication, one after the other. Immediately.
Immediately. We were totally talking to something intelligent and, literally talking to something.
And the fact that confirmed that it was intelligent is the worst.
Yeah, because, I think a lot of the responses were intelligent or they matched what I was asking, but the knock just takes it to another level.
Yeah.
Because I can get it as a skeptic. You can argue away the whole Estes method thing. It's coincidental, or you get what you want out of it, so I can kind of understand the skepticism.
Yeah, and you could, I don't know if you could hear our response or their response super well, but the knock was heard in the room. It was an actual knock.
It was to my left. It was coming from the closet of the nursery or in that part of the room.
It looked like it was up.
Yeah, because I looked
ceiling.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, we'll post different clips on social media from this Estes method, and then hopefully we can post the whole thing to Patreon if you wanted to watch it in its whole. Because it's almost, you said your name, Emily?
Yeah.
Because not a lot of names came through Amber came through Adam, which Adam's a religious name.
Judas, Jesus.
And Emily.
And then Emily, like,
You know.
I mean, Emily's not an uncommon name, but it's, you always get Emily every time you do the Estes method.
I do.
Which is,
I don't like it.
scary. We got a ton of you.
You. And multiple times you.
Mm-hmm.
Like.
Oh, and when I asked, like, is there evil here? Yes. And then I said something about, and they said, that's the deal. So then I was like, did someone bring you here? And it was like, that's natural. And then it was said stuck. So I'm kind of under the impression that, which we didn't talk about in the history, but there was the guy that owns the house, the landlord, he did find a renter that came after the Pickmans had drawn a pentagram in the basement.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, was something brought in? And now it's stuck?
whether it was with them, because...
Well, it might not necessarily been with them, but...
Yeah, because I think there was a little bit of debate on how accurate that, or how, like, extreme that occurrence was, but... Yeah, from what we got, it does sound like somebody made a pact or a deal with something in that house, and the deal tied that thing there. But, like, what are the terms of the deal beyond that? Why?
Yeah.
And, like, was it then, or has it happened since the house became famous, and one of the hundreds of people who have come in here, did they do something?
Right, like kind of what I was just talking about earlier, is that we don't know what's been done in that house. Oh, and also when you said 800, and I was like, is that how old you are? Like, what's 800? Oh, I think it said, what's 800? And you said me?
Yeah.
That's what it was. And I was like,
And then you're like, is that how old you are?
Yeah. I don't know. It almost, too, seemed like sometimes it was, like, fading in and out, the signal, like, in a way. Like, sometimes it would be really talking, and then it would kind of fade away for a bit, and then it'd come back.
And what I find super interesting is the knock that we heard. The physical knock is what ended the conversation. Mm-hmm. Knock, and then I'm done. Like, that was the most they could do. Mm-hmm. Like, they spent a lot of time actually communicating, and then that one physical interaction
was, like, the last of their energy.
Yeah.
Oh, and which we should I think we maybe talked about this earlier. It's hard to remember. We were so tired, you especially.
Oh my God.
Like, our energy was definitely drained.
I was literally falling asleep standing when we went to, we went to a winery and had a couple glasses of wine. But even, that's still not normal for me. I was literally, like, slumped over the table.
Like, I thought she was going to pass out.
Yeah, and then we went somewhere else, and I was literally just leaning against people, just falling asleep.
Yeah.
And then I had some coffee and a snack, and I was fine. Like, I was back to normal. Mm-hmm. But I've never been like that. Just, like, totally wiped out. I forgot about that. It was weird.
I mean, I do think when you're the vessel, when you're the one under, it probably is more draining. Because you kind of go into a meditative type state. But I don't know. It just... Every time I'm now more on the side of believing Estes methods, because we've had every time we do it, it's almost more compelling. I mean, I guess every time we've done it, it's been in a different location, but...
Yeah, my real believing it started All of Waters, but every time since we've had House of the Dead,
there were some interesting moments. Now having the vessel comment from House of the Dead is very compelling. The rest of it there, you can debate away, but... I don't know, we can just probably talk in circles about this whole thing, but...
Yeah, it was clearly insane.
From start to finish. That's why we played this pretty much whole thing.
We couldn't really cut any of it, because it was basically a conversation the entire time, which doesn't happen.
And it's just interesting, I several times tried to say goodbye, and it was like, you can try, or you're lost, like... I just, like, what?
It almost makes me feel like, like in movies and stuff when the police are trying to, like, trace someone's phone number and they're like, we have to keep them on the phone as long as... What if they're, like, trying to find
And
he did say found you.
Yes. And he was trying to poke and get into me, but I went into that house being like, you cannot take me.
Wanted you.
It wanted
real bad. Wanted your digits.
Yeah. Well, 666. I should have been like, do I reach you at 666? I don't know. It'll be very, very interesting if I'm sure we will go back to Sallie House again, but
Yeah, and I know I don't remember if I talked about it in the intro to this episode. I talked about it when we were at Sallie House during one of our EVP sessions, but like I pretty consistently have dreams about Sallie House, and I've had a dream since we've been there again, and it was a pretty scary one. Other than the fact that we were with Project Fear, and it was amazing, and I got to hug them. Who did I hug?
Tanner.
I hugged Tanner.
Seems like you would give a good hug.
Yeah, he seems like a good hugger. And Dakota was like obsessed with the house and wouldn't want to leave. And it was really scary. Like I saw the thing that was Sallie and it was really creepy.
I'll be very curious because this episode's coming out on Monday and a week and a half later, Project Fear's episode on Sallie House is coming out. I'll be curious if your dream at all had some premonition features.
If it is, then Dakota like gets weirdly obsessed with the house and doesn't want to leave because he thinks he's onto something. So we'll find out if that happens.
That could just be plausible anyways. Like, I don't know.
He was like the last one and he was like pacing back and forth. We'll see.
We'll see.
Threw it out there. That's what I envisioned.
But yeah, you would have always dreamed about the Sallie House, which is
all the time.
Interesting. So, I don't know.
If I buy it someday.
Well, it was in 2016. It was for sale for $1 million. Can you even imagine how much money that house banks?
$1 million. Damn.
But then they dropped the price to like $500,000 or $600,000, and it sold for that. But it's like this tiny house,
tiny little house that's so old. Wow. In Atchison.
And yeah, like a $600,000 house in Atchison is like McIntyre Villa.
Yeah, it's literally right across the street from a mansion.
And that mansion's probably not even $600,000.
Holy shit.
So that's crazy.
Buy the mansion.
I know. That looks haunted, that place.
Probably haunted by fun, whimsical ghosts, though.
Yeah, not demons.
Yeah, it's probably like, well, I don't know if, oh, you probably haven't seen it. Now I can't think what it's called. Hill House.
Oh, yeah.
You probably haven't seen that.
I have not.
Okay, never mind. Ugh. I'm replacing my chair soon, so next time we record, hopefully it won't sound like I'm farting or falling through the floor.
Yay!
Unless I build it badly, which might partly be why this chair farts. Luckily, the chair I ordered has bells on it, though, so...
It's gonna be even better. There's gonna be new noises.
New noises. Woo woo for season 3.
Yeah, so, I mean, we said that. This is our season 2 finale.
Just occurred to me.
Which is kind of sad, but we have some really cool stuff planned for season 3. Something came up this week. We got invited somewhere, and I'm so flippin' excited.
We won't spoil where we're going, but it's going to be amazing, and one of the biggest places we've ever been to, and there might be some collab opportunities.
Yeah. So it's going to be a pretty cool experience, and I'm kind of hoping it'll maybe be our season 3 premiere, but that's happening this summer, so... We got a couple other cool things in the works.
We got a lot going on, actually.
Yeah, so that's kind of a reason why we're taking a break. It's just we gotta do this cool stuff.
Gotta stock up on some gear.
Yes. Yes, so that we can stop having a recorder that sounds like it's underwater.
Yeah, so we swear this.
But that thing, I don't know, that thing still catches.
It catches a
evidence,
lot.
So I might have to keep dragging it with me.
Oh, we're always using it. We'll just have more.
That way we don't only have the shitty audio.
We need a fleet of recorders.
I mean...
Leave them in every single room.
Yeah.
We're gonna need thousands.
Then who's gonna listen? We need to hire interns to listen to all this. But
that's totally in our budget.
Oh yeah. Well, interns, unpaid interns, let me clarify.
Right. We could probably find a way to offer...
Taking applications now.
Probably offer college credit.
But yes, please follow us on Instagram at Remnants Paranormal. That's where we're going to just post all the behind the scenes and in the scenes.
And whatever random reels we think about.
Yeah.
Sometimes they make sense, usually they don't.
You know, you just throw a lot out there and see what sticks.
We're just throwing so much spaghetti.
Yeah. And please leave us a review on Apple. Mm-hmm. Because that is how people that aren't our friends and family are going to find us. And we really, really want to, like, share our interest and love of the paranormal with people outside of our circle.
We need everybody to hear all the freaky crap we keep catching.
I know, like, I try to remain skeptical still because but I don't know. I think Emily and I have found our calling.
Yeah, like, I get it. I don't
Whether
know.
it's for good or bad, I
I
don't
don't know
know
how to explain everything we're catching, so that's all it's just, I don't know.
Yeah,
And
because
it
even
keeps
when
just
we
getting more intense, I feel like.
right, because even when we're going places where we're not trying, like House of the Dead, we kind of just went for fun, and we freaking got a creepy high and creepy breaths, zombie breaths. It's what I don't know. Or we were just recording in Emily's bedroom that one time, and we got a ha.
Shit, I forgot about that.
Or when we were recording on my parents' farm, our little drunk storytelling episode that we will someday release on YouTube.
Yes.
We got that whisper. I don't know. Just so much crazy stuff has happened when we're not even necessarily trying that I definitely think we're haunted.
Yay.
So leave us a review so we can get more haunted.
Yeah, I mean, there's no going back now, I guess. We've poked the bear too many times, and now
we're in too deep, and I'm trying to keep my head above.
I don't know the words.
I don't either. I just.
Ba, 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 ba.
So
Well.
we will see you soon.
Ish.
Soonish.
We will
Hopefully
get-
sooner than later.
Yeah, but we promise that the wait will definitely be worth it because our first episode is gonna kick ass.
Yeah. And this is a great opportunity to go back and listen or
Yeah.
tell people to listen. I mean, it's only 26 episodes.
Yeah, we've seen our views. We know that you guys haven't listened to everything yet. So, I mean, come on, catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna probably go get some blessings and exorcisms and cleansings over the next month or so. So,
I definitely need to fill up my water gun with holy water.
we've had it for years.
I have had it for years and I have not filled it with holy water. I'm tempting the devil.
As we've learned, it's up to you whether or not you need a priest. Only you can prevent forest fires.
That's the audio we need to use for a real
Only you can prevent possessions.
Well, I mean, there's some truth in that.
Oh, so I wish I need to make that into a shirt. Only
Yeah, someone make it a shirt for us.
just mock the Smokey Bear graphic. Okay, well, I hate to say goodbye to you guys for season 2, but we did it. Season 2, and it was spooky as hell. So
Here's to more spooky things to come.
hopefully, maybe season 3 is when we'll finally catch a ghost on camera.
One can only hope, I guess.
Yeah, that might do me in, but we'll find out when we catch you on the flippity flip.
Bye!
Abduct me, alien.
Please, I don't want to work.
Help!
I mean, I think we'll just go.
Yeah, all I know is we're about to do the
I think we were
I'm not gonna work tomorrow unless I have to.
I have to.
I'm losing my mind.
Help!
And the baby Yoda sounds like this, and he makes me do a question time every night.
Talkie, talkie, talkie.
Sounded like a Muppet. Talkie, talkie, talkie.
Talkie, talkie, talkie.